I've taken the Hilux for a pink slip and it's failed for a few things. So with the list that they've given me, I've gone and got a couple of parts here. The stuff that they've failed it for, some of it's minor, some of it's major. So some of the parts that I have here is a transmission mount for obviously the back of the transmission. That's going to need replacing, which is on this list. Another thing is the drag link ends, so I've got two of them, one for each end. Another thing is that the rear, the indicators, sorry, all four of them need resistors. So I've got 4 resistors there. A number plate light, so I've got some LEDs to match the rear tail lights and indicators and stuff in the back. So that'll be one thing that I've got to do. Front diff's leaking, so that's the pinion seal for the front diff. The rear diff's also leaking, which is just the actual mounting surface where all the bolts bolt to, or the nuts mount to. So I'm going to pull that off and put a bit of sealant around and seal that back up. Another thing is the spring eye and leaf spring bushes. They might be chewed out or something. Not enough grease, obviously, is premature wear and stuff like that. So I've got to replace them as well. The other things not added, which I don't really need parts for, the rust in the rear doors, which I just got to sand it down and clean it all up and get rid of that. The bull bar's loose, so I'll pull it off, clean it all up, remount it in the right spot. Exhaust leaks, get the welder out, weld the holes up. Oil leaks on the motor. I'm hoping that's power steering fluid mixed with one of the other problems, which is the top radiator hose is leaking. On the engine side, so I'm hoping that it's just mixing together and that's causing it to look like there's an engine oil leak. If not, once I degrease the whole thing, I'll determine what that problem is. The rear mud flaps, which you might be able to see down the back there, are too high off the ground. So it's a minimum of 250 millimeters from the ground, and I haven't measured them yet, but I'm assuming they're probably about 400, something around there, mil, maybe even 500 mil off the ground. The left tail light isn't working. I think it's just the connection for the tail light, so that's an easy fix. And the front park lights, even though I've got them in the bull bar here, I do believe that they have to work in the headlight as well. So one of these, not 100% sure where it is. It could be just in that bulb there. So I'll go through, and the park brake not holding, which means I need to jack the car up, sort out the rear shoes, readjust it all, because I know that they're a little bit. There's an adjuster in there, and I know that that's a little bit stiff. So I need to loosen it all up and get it all working properly. Set it to the right setting, then adjust my handbrake, like the park brake, to the right setting. That's what I've got to get through, and I don't think it's going to cost too much. I know that if I got a mechanic to do this, it'd be, I was told by a mate, maybe $4,000, $5,000, because of the labour that has to go into it. You go through and you look at all this list, and it's like hour for each job. That's $100 every hour, so I'll see how I go, and I'll take you guys along the ride with me. Got to get this transmission mount off, and you can see where it's all cracked through the rubber there, both sides. So there's 4 bolts, 12mm bolts in under here. I'll undo them. I've got the drill here. I've already loosened them off, so it makes it a bit easier to get them out. That's them four. Now I gotta get these four off, and then I should be able to support the transfer case, and it should lift off. I'm hoping. Otherwise, I've got to take the cross member off. So I'll loosen off these and then take them out. This is the old mount, and as you can see, the whole thing is separated, but probably, you look at that thing on the bottom there, heap of play, heap of movement, covered in oil. It's not in good shape. New one. So this is metal and this is metal, and they've infused it with a bit of rubber in between. There's more rubber down in here as well, which is good. Threaded holes on the bottom. Not 100% sure what this nut's for. I think it's for different models or something, but I'll tighten it up and leave it there, and yeah, then we'll remount it into the car. Let's do that now. Transmission mount, all done. 4 bolts up the top, just here, 1, 2, 3 and 4 all done up. The 4 from underneath all done up. It's all sitting on there ready to go. Jack's out of the way, so I cleaned it up a bit before I put it all back on there as well. The other mounts, it's filthy. There's oil and stuff all over it from the turbo oil return line, so that's all done. Another thing off the list. Let's move on to the next one. Thanks for joining me with this episode of Spinner in the Works. That gives you a bit of a rundown on what's going on with the cars and videos, the upcoming videos and stuff like that. I've got the pink slip coming up for the Hilux, and I've got all the jobs to do, so I can get on. I need to start editing and stuff like that, get that up. This is obviously only the second video for the year. I'm sorry for that, guys, but keep with me and I'll keep trying to post as much as I can. Hopefully with the next few videos I can kind of start posting weekly or fortnightly and things like that. Thanks for joining me, guys. Join me next time on Spanner in the Works.